6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news, edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. The President highlights the absence of UNP policies in the SJB. Additional buses for those homebound this season. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa says a candidate from the SLBC will definitely be fielded for the forthcoming presidential election. The President's senior advisor Sagala Rathnayaka says the main objective of the President is to expedite the economic growth of the country and provide benefits to the general public. 20,000 million rupees allocated to provide 20 kilograms of rice to needy families. Former President Maithripala says obstacles will not deter him from taking the SLFP forward. The SLFP Politburo is scheduled to meet today amidst internal rifts to discuss the future programs of the party. Today's total solar eclipse will not be visible in Sri Lanka. In news overseas, Rwanda marks 30 years since genocide. In sports news, school cricket, St. Sylvester's wins the Battle of the Babes one day. The State Minister of Finance, Shehan Semasinga, states that in view of the upcoming Sinhala and Tamil New Year, 20,000 million rupees has been allocated to provide 20 kilograms of rice each to 2.75 million needy families who do not receive the Aswasama benefits or any other relief. In addition to this, under the Aswasama program, 2.4 million families will be given benefits by July, he added. Semasinga, addressing the media in Anuradhapura, further stated that if the country is allowed to spiral into an economic crisis again, the country will not be able to recover for 15 years. He said in order to avoid a crisis, all, irrespective of differences, should support the program implemented by the government to rebuild the economy. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa expressed confidence that the SLFP will solve its internal conflicts very soon. Mr. Rajapaksa made these remarks in Kandy yesterday. He also said there is no challenge or threat to the party due to a faction joining the SJB. The former president said it is a good sign that members of his party are getting involved in establishing an alliance with other major parties. This shows the confidence the opposition parties have on these members. He also assured that a candidate from the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna will definitely be fielded in the forthcoming presidential election. The Sri Lanka Transport Board and the Railways Department have deployed special buses and trains from the 10th of April for the convenience of passengers going to the villages for the new year. According to the Sri Lanka Transport Board's Deputy General Manager Panduka Swarnavansa, nearly 200 special buses will be put into operation for long-distance services, and altogether the SLTB deploys 5,000 buses for the convenience of passengers. He also said that all the depot managers have been instructed to deploy special buses to the destinations where there is more demand. The Railways Department has deployed 12 special train services daily from the 10th of April for the upcoming festive season, and these train services will operate until the 15th of April. The Railways Department says that 12 special train services will be operated in addition to the normal trains that have been added for the daily running for long destinations. The police media spokesman DIG Nihal Talduwa denies any involvement by the police in closing down the Sri Lanka Freedom Party SLFP headquarters on Dali Road in Colombo 10. He said that the police have only provided security to the premises until it is opened by the party officials who locked its doors in order to conduct an investigation over a complaint received regarding a set of files that has gone missing from the headquarters building. The acting General Secretary of the party, MP Sarathi Dushmantha Mitrapala, had lodged a complaint in this regard with the Mardana police on Friday morning. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Excelsior. Live the life you want.
Former President Maithripala Sirisena yesterday said he was a true SLFP and obstacles or challenges will not deter him from taking forward the party. A group of government ministers is obstructing our journey. They wanted to join the government along with the alliance. This is the reason why our negotiations have failed the last 3 to 4 months. That is why we removed 3 officials from their positions in the party recently. It is a very legitimate thing to do, he said. Sirisena was addressing the Sri Lanka Freedom Party Colombo District Conference held in Kaduvela, an event organised by the former Western Province Minister Hector Bethmagay. A large number of party members, including the acting SLFP General Secretary Dushmanthra Mithapala, attended this event. Sirisena further said the SLFP is a party that has faced various challenges, but it could not be taken down. Bandaranaike built this party. Mrs. Sirimavo Bandaranaike strengthened it. Meanwhile, the SLFP Politburo is scheduled to meet today amidst internal rifts to discuss the future programs of the party. The meeting will be held at the SLFP headquarters. President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasized that the present Samagi Janabalavege SJB lacks the policies of the United National Party, the UNP, with its economic strategy now being overseen by individuals who were expurgated by the Sri Lanka Podu Jana Peramune SLPP. Additionally, President Wickremesinghe highlighted that the SJB, once poised to take control of Sirikotha in 2020 under the UNP banner, has now been influenced by the chairman of the SLPP and other factions. These remarks were made by President Ranil Wickremesinghe during a meeting of political party representatives convened at the President's house in Kandy yesterday. He noted that the political landscape underwent significant changes following the political turmoil in July 2022, stressing the importance of all parties, regardless of affiliation, to prioritize the nation's interests and collaborate with the government's agenda for progress. State Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya said the salaries for the month of April for the government servants will be provided from today. The salary will include the proposed increase of 10,000 rupees. A sum of 13 billion rupees has been allocated for this purpose. The salaries will be paid from today up to the 10th of April. Sri Lanka is ready to export several types of seeds in this country for the first time, the Agriculture Ministry said. Accordingly, several species of chilies, eggplant, capsicums, okra and maize have been successfully tested, as there is a high demand for these seeds from many countries. The Agriculture Department, including its experts and the private sector, have conducted the research on these new types of seeds. Accordingly, the Director General of Agriculture, Mrs. Malati Parasuman, informed the Agriculture Minister Mahinda Amaravira that this year some of the above-mentioned seed varieties, it should be aforementioned seed varieties, have been prepared for export for the first time. While expressing his opinion, the minister said although seeds of various crops have been imported from foreign countries, it should be appreciated that the most suitable seeds are being produced for cultivation in our country.
People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you. People's Bank Excelsior, for professionals who dare to dream.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
The President's senior advisor and the Chief of Staff Sagil Ratnayaka said the main objective of the President is to expedite the economic growth of the country and provide the benefits of the economic growth to the general public. President Ranil Wickremesinghe took over the country to rebuild the country and not to promote his party. Effective measures taken by the President have yielded fruitful results to the country. Mr. Ratnayaka made these remarks at the opening ceremony of the Party Operation Office for the presidential election in Kandy yesterday.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
Watch Live is brought to you by
CIB New Year offer. Valuable gifts and gift vouchers. 25% discount for bank cards till 10th of April. Visit CIB today. CIB revives once always.
Though there are 2 lunar eclipses and 2 solar eclipses this year, Sri Lankans will not be able to see any of them. Professor Chandana Jayarathne, the director of the Astronomy and Space Science Unit of the Department of Physics of the Colombo University and the chairman of the Arthur C. Clarke Institute for Modern Technology, says, today, the 8th of April 2024, there will be a total solar eclipse, a very famous eclipse in the world, and in particular in the USA, to the extent that some schools in the USA will be closed on the day. Though there are 2 lunar eclipses and 2 solar eclipses this year, Sri Lankans will not be able to see any of them, Professor Chandana Jayarathne says. Today, the 8th of April 2024, there will be a total solar eclipse, a very famous eclipse in the world, and in particular, the USA, to the extent that some schools in the USA will be closed on the eclipse day.
CIB New Year offer. Valuable gifts and gift vouchers. 25% discount for bank cards till 10th of April. Visit CIB today. CIB, where vibes once always.
Coming up, World News.
In world news headlines now, Rwanda makes 30 years since genocide. Prime Minister Kishida to leave for an official visit to the US. Israel withdraws troops from Khan Younis in southern Gaza. People in the Central African country of Rwanda have marked 30 years since the 1994 genocide that left about 800,000 individuals dead. Commemorations took place in the capital Kigali on Sunday. Participants paid tribute to the victims of the ethnic conflict that began in April 1994. Attackers led by a group of Hutu militants massacred individuals from the minority Tutsi group and Hutu moderators. People below the age of 30 account for after two-thirds of the current population. Japan's Prime Minister Kishida Fumio will leave for an official visit to the United States on Monday. Kishida and the US President Joe Biden will hold a summit where they are expected to confirm plans to boost cooperation in defense, economic security and outer space. Kishida will meet Biden amid an increasingly severe international situation. The Prime Minister is expected to see closer defense ties through such efforts as improving cooperation between the Japanese self-defense forces and the US forces in Japan. Israel says it has withdrawn troops from the Gaza Strip southern city of Khan Younis. The Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said on Sunday the military made the withdrawal to prepare for future missions, including operations in Rafah. Many displaced people are taking shelter in the southernmost district of the enclave. And now in development news, one of the leading design and construction companies in China's Zhongwei International Corporation has opened a regional office, Zhongwei Engineering Consulting Company Limited in Colombo, and is looking at investing in mega projects. The chairman of the company, Luo Xiaolan, said they are keen to be involved in mega development projects in the Colombo port city, the Hambantota port, the highway network, and also looking at investing in power generation projects. Sri Lanka and China have always maintained close bilateral relations several centuries ago. In recent times, China has been a keen player, not only in providing infrastructure to the government, but also several Chinese companies to have invested in Sri Lanka.
Moving on with sports news.
In school cricket, St. Sylvester's College, led by Akila Vikramasinghe, beat Vidyartha College, led by Avishka Gunaratne, by 3 wickets in their 35th Battle of the Babes Limited over encounter, played at the Asagiriya Stadium yesterday and pocketed the MBW Madivaka Trophy and made it the 28th win against 4 by Vidyartha. 3 games have ended in no decisions. In this one-day game, Vidyartha College batted first and were in a bad position and struggled hard to score 124 runs, losing all the wickets in 48.2 overs. In replay, St. Sylvester's College scored 125 for 7 in 39.2 overs to win the game.
Go ekatiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dagapuhina habakarana youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship ekamenna.
The all-new NSB Itru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Enhancing customer experience and convenience with digital banking services, Union Bank launched its first digital zone at the bank's head office located in Colombo 3. As part of the bank's digital transformation strategy and extending convenient and seamless banking services, the bank will roll out digital zones in several strategic branch locations during the year. The digital zones comprise of automated teller machines, cash recycling machines, and automated facilities for check deposits, utility bill payments, and more, providing round-the-clock access to essential banking services, including cash deposits, cash withdrawals, cardless deposits, fund transfers to UB accounts, in addition to credit card payments to UB credit cards, as well as access to account balance details.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekatiyana youth ekata life eke change එකට නියමෙට සෙට් වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට සෙට් වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news, further underlining the growth of the tourism sector, Sri Lanka's tourism revenue passed the $1 billion mark after the first 3 months ending the 31st of March 2024, showing 103% growth against the corresponding period in 2023. Sri Lanka also recorded 635,784 arrivals for the first 3 months of 2024, also showing an 89% increase as against 2023. From January to March 2023, total earnings from tourism receipts were $503 million. Meanwhile, workers' remittances also showed a sharp upward trend, with the country recording $1.536 billion in revenue. During the year up to April 5th, 2024, the Sri Lanka rupee appreciated against the US dollar by 8%. Given the cross-currency exchange rate movements, the Sri Lanka rupee appreciated against the Japanese yen by 15.5%, the pound sterling by 9%, the euro by 10.5%, and the Indian rupee by 8.5% during this period.
Weather report.
The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Gala and Mathura districts after 2 p.m. This weather report was issued at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. That was the weather report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The President highlights the absence of UNP policies in the SJB. Additional buses for those homebound this season. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa says a candidate from the SLBC will definitely be fielded for the forthcoming presidential election. The President's senior advisor Sagala Rathnayaka says the main objective of the President is to expedite the economic growth of the country and provide benefits to the general public. 20,000 million rupees allocated to provide 20 kilograms of rice to the needy families. Former President Maithripala says obstacles will not deter him from taking the SLFP forward. The SLFP Politburo is scheduled to meet today amidst internal rifts to discuss the future programs of the party. Today's total solar eclipse will not be visible in Sri Lanka. In news overseas, Rwanda marks 30 years since the genocide. In sports news, school cricket, St. Sylvester's wins the Battle of the Babes one day. That concludes this news broadcast, and now it's back to your host this season. On a Monday morning, Abhishek Kumarage on the other side to keep you in great company. Over to you, Abhishek, this Monday morning.